Hi guys, and I do mean guys. I'm Testosterone Johnson. We've spent a lot of time talking about life hacks on this channel, specifically the hacks from 5-Minute Crafts. And I must confess that in the past, I haven't exactly been open to having my life hacked by these crafts. In fact, you could say that I've been pretty critical.
I think I accidentally found the
worst channel on YouTube.
What I now know is this has nothing to do with the quality of the crafts and everything to do with their intended audience. You see, I am man. I'm big, strong man, and these wimpy little crafts just aren't for someone of my masculinity. I'd almost lost hope, but luckily I found 5-Minute Crafts Men, the one-stop shop for big, burly men like myself. And now, thanks to 5-Minute Crafts Men, I know to put peanut butter in my hair. Jealous? Okay, so 5-Minute Crafts is still quietly taking over YouTube. They just hit 50 million subscribers, which puts them third in line behind PewDiePie and T-Series, which is great. And that's just one of the seemingly endless supply of YouTube channels that they own. Some of their other channels include offshoots of 5-Minute Crafts for extremely broad demographics. You got 5-Minute Crafts Kids, Girly, Family, Teens, and finally, Men. And they're all exactly the same. But today we'll be focusing on their channel for men, because that's what I am. By the way, my voice is a little bit hoarse today, and I don't know why. So for those who aren't familiar, 5-Minute Crafts is a very large crafts and DIY operation famous for their like nonsensical life hacks. They have a pretty big audience on Instagram and Facebook, but they're best known on YouTube, where their videos are just compilations of their Instagram videos, where it seems like they just take old videos at random and put them together until they hit 10 minutes. And then they do that 3 times a day. Much like the titles and thumbnails on 5-Minute Crafts videos, which are complete lies, the relationship between the content on 5-Minute Crafts Men to what I presume to be their intended audience is coincidental at best. So this first video is called 22 Handy Hacks for Men. And from the thumbnail, it looks like it's going to tell the story about how a toothbrush became a man. Actually, it's just useless power drill hacks. That's what I meant to say. I have a few questions. What situation is this for? You've got a toothbrush to destroy, you've got a power drill, but you don't have a sponge? How about you try a sponge first before you put an eye out with this device that shouldn't exist? I know I've probably said this before, but how many toothbrushes do you think I have? If the argument is buy brand new toothbrushes just for this purpose, that's wasteful. And if it's no, you should use used toothbrushes on this, that's just gross. Ah, lazy life hacks. This is a situation that actually happens. You know, you've got a wrinkled t-shirt. Just lay on it. How much time do you have? How do we do? It's been an hour.
Dirty chips packet. Don't you just hate it when you get chip dust on your arms and your hands? Well, no more. With this hack, you can just get it on your hands.
What? The best way to achieve crazy hair growth. I'm already a little bit nervous. I want healthy hair growth. Crazy seems like it could get out of hand. You use the wand from some old mascara, which we all have. This is 5-Minute Crafts Men.
Then you put the crazy growth oils into a bottle.
Then you apply it to your girlfriend's eyelashes and her hair, and then you put it on another woman's eyebrows, and then you put it on her full beard, and then your hair will be growing crazy in no time. Every real man do this, but doesn't tell. The thumbnail, it seems, is trying to imply he becomes a completely different person. Oh yeah. Yeah. What happens when men are home alone? They try out funny hairstyles. They have fun in front of the mirror. If this guy's having fun in the mirror, what was the other guy doing? Just standing in the middle of his kitchen, bobbing up and down? Okay, so we're just abruptly going into what seems like a completely different video from a completely different place. Each man has his own little joys. Y'all probably didn't know this, but each man, each one of us, has our own little joys. It's a pretty unique thing about half of the human race. Yesterday, I changed tires. Ah, yes. Normal male communication. Why so early? I have no idea what this conversation is supposed to be. It doesn't seem like they're talking to one another. Is changing tires his joy? I mean, I'm not gonna make fun of this man for his hobby, but it's a little weird. I knew it! That clip has absolutely no context. I think this is supposed to be about things that guys enjoy, and just some of those things are talking about tires, and waking up and knowing something, and throwing something into a trash can from 2 feet away. You know, simple joys. These men's haircuts reveal the true personality of their owners. Do you own a haircut? That's kind of a weird phrasing. Long hair. Is that Tom Hiddleston? Okay, so these are just drawings of famous people. Long hair, a creative personality. Huh, I feel bad for the rest of the people in this list. I hope they're not in any sort of creative field. Oh, well. Vertical bangs? I like the idea that every piece of hair to them is bangs. You've got your vertical bangs, you've got your horizontal bangs, you've got your diagonal bangs, long bangs, short bangs. Oh, it's a book. How to Understand a Woman. I think every man needs one of these. What? You can't? Trats. Women just don't make no sense. Am I right, fellas? P.S. A woman just needs to be loved. That's what I've been doing wrong. Okay, so it looks like a lot of these are not hacks so far. He dated 3 women and couldn't figure out which of them should be his wife. Then he decided to conduct an experiment. Nice. Women love that. He gave $5,000 to each woman? Who is this man? I mean, it is a little suspicious if somebody offers you $5,000 for no reason, right? Like, we've been going steady for a while. And so I'd like to offer you a prize. He was curious how they'd spend this money. The first one spent it on herself. A spa, a hairdo, and new clothes. I did it to be beautiful for you, she said. He was impressed. The second woman spent the money on presents for him. I love you so much. This is all for you, she said. It was a pleasant surprise. The third woman didn't spend the money. She invested it and earned $15,000 at the stock market. Quick nitpick, that is spending it. I want to return your $5,000 and the remaining $10,000 will be added to our family budget, she said. Not gonna lie, I'm a little concerned with how deep into dating 3 separate people he is. This is some weird like bachelor shit.
I am falling in love with her.
The man was impressed. I'd also like to say that the stock market is not a good investment. She just gambled the money. Unless of course she was investing it in like a high yield index fund or like a retirement. Which woman do you think he married? Text sexism to 696969 to vote. Of course, the most beautiful one. Men are always men. Is that like a political stance? I'm also a little upset that none of those women invested in themselves, but then again, women just exist to please us. Am I right, fellas? Sex and stuff. If there's one legitimately useful thing that all men need to do at some point, it's tie a tie. So in almost every one of the 5 Minute Crafts Men videos, they include the exact same clips of how to tie a tie. Okay, now I feel underdressed for this video, so I'll be back. Got my tie here. Let's watch this video. He's so fast. I keep tying the tie backwards. Now the whole tie is backwards. I think it's because I'm left-handed. Okay, I got it. Technically it works. It just took me 10 minutes. That was pointless. I already know how to tie a tie. Okay, find the perfect fit. I don't know if it's supposed to choke you, but these are pants that I wear every day. Draw your own conclusions. Okay, so this next one is one I've been looking for my whole life. 25 simple life hacks to be attractive. Oh great, 10 more ways to tie a tie. What a fucking, what a overcompensating tie. Watch out, ladies, because if you see somebody with this knot, you know it's going down. Sex, please. Okay, he's putting peanut butter in his hair. Where's this going? What? That was it? That's literally it. It doesn't explain anything about the peanut butter. From personal experience now, I can tell you don't do this. You'll get peanut butter everywhere and it's really hard to get out of your hair. I was in the shower for like 30 minutes and I still smell like peanuts. Also, this guy kind of looks like Noel Miller. What is the point of this? Congratulations, you've invented a vacuum. Okay, so this will be the last one. 23 fantastic kitchen hacks every man need. Are your dishes dirty? Don't wash them. Eat out of something else. Why clean the fridge or use Tupperware when you can stack everything with chopsticks? These people have problems with everything. I mean, you were using that pen, but I guess this is fine. Does she not know that you could just fold the bag over? I feel like my main problem with these life hacks is that they pretend to be practical, like they're actually solving an everyday problem. It's like, yeah, I guess you can dirty your whole French press just to put bubbles in your milk. Oh, come on. You can't even use a toaster without getting hurt? I like how they expect you to execute these drill hacks or like making a wallet out of bare leather without a problem, but you can't get toast out of a toaster without burning yourself. So who is actually enjoying 5-minute crafts, you ask? Well, you're in luck because their Facebook page has over 100 reviews. I freaking love it. I tried the DIYs and it went well. 5-minute crafts men. Loved your crafts. Best app for good knowledge. And last but not least, Mom, the photo is literally of a toddler, and I'm not gonna put them on blast, but they look like a little girl, so, I mean, they're clearly lost, because this is a man zone. That's about all I had for today. I hope you enjoyed perusing this very silly content. Thanks to Alicia Kayayan for sending me a message on Instagram. I have no idea if I'm saying that right. If you want me to butcher your name, just leave a comment, any comment, say whatever you want. And you can subscribe, and you can like, and you can turn on the bell. Those are all awesome things, and I will welcome you into the unnamed fan base with open arms. You can also follow me on Instagram and Twitter at Jarvis. And yeah, that's about all for today. Join me next week for the next video. But until then, just watch any of the other videos that I've made. They're good.